Hey guys. You know, I'm having my coffee, my morning coffee, my first one. Okay. And I was just thinking about like being protected and all of that kind of energy, all of those things, you know. Because I walked past the mirror and I looked at my t-shirt, right? And I was just like, wow, you know, I actually have been protected and saved from experiences throughout my life, especially like when I was younger. I remember this one time specifically, and this is why I'm doing the video, to tell you this crazy ass story. I was born in Mississippi, right? And I lived there from the time that I was born to maybe around the time that I was like 12, okay? And I think around the time that I was the age of, I had to be like 7. Yeah, it had to be like 7, right? So crazy. 8, 7. Because I had 2 sisters. One of them is 5 years younger than me, and the other one is like 7 years younger than me. So she was like a newborn at this time. My mom was freshly divorced from her first marriage, but she had a baby. Okay, right, from the marriage, I think, if I can recall. So we're living with my grandmother again in the town that we lived in with our family. And there was this particular night that we were all at my grandmother's house. And I did not know this later, but one person who would normally be there was not there. They just happened to be next door at the neighbor's home. Okay? So now I'm going to tell you this story, 222. We're in my grandmother's home doing what families do, right? And then we hear like these people at the front door, like a knock, if you will. And they're asking for people, they're asking for someone, or they're asking us to let them in. There's something going on where I just remember these people were like trying to get in to the house after we weren't going to let them in. Now, mind you, my grandmother had 9 kids, and there were like grandkids there too. I was the only grandson, and I was 7. And I don't think that any of my grandmother's sons were there, because they were older, you know, maybe like in their 20s and 30s. Yeah, late 20s, something like that, late 30s. Yeah, whatever. Well, girl, the people broke the latch on the front door, okay? Tried to burst their way into our home. My grandmother's home at the time. Newborn baby in there, dog, kids, my grandmother. Oh my God, so crazy. Thinking about this, I'm like, yeah, that happened. Well, they're trying to get in. My grandmother is literally holding the door herself. I mean, we're all helping. I wasn't, but like all of the older people who were there were holding the door. She's pushing the door literally with her bare hands. She's a Cancer. Okay? Pushing the door, keeping the portal closed. I just remember seeing this. That's like literally the memory. And that's like the strength of my grandmother. She literally was protecting like almost her entire family in that house through one door, right? And so this went on for a while. The amount of strength it must have taken, because it was like a group of people. It was like a gang, right? In my little town. And while that was happening, one of my grandmother's daughters, one of her twins, was actually at the neighbor's house across, or next door. You know, we have a lot of space between our houses in Mississippi, so she was next door. Thank you, by the grace of God. And there was a man who I heard from outside, walked up to the house and tried to get them to stop. Well, they attacked this man, honey. Okay, I'm giving you kitchen table talk. Truth, though. Real story. Real talk. They took what we saw the next morning. Well, they got into an altercation, right? So something happened. I think the cops came because I think that my aunt who was next door called the cop. I mean, like, this was crazy. There must have been like a full moon. There had to be something going on with the energies and the transits or something. And I'm thinking it was like Capricorn season and it was like a Cancer full moon or something, because it might have been around the holidays. I don't know. I do know that the very next day when we actually came outside, all right, I don't even think that my aunt came from my neighbor's house. I don't know. She may have stayed there that night and we stayed in the house, but who knows? She may have come home. I don't know. I would have been like, just stay over there. We're keeping these doors locked and everything over here. And it was crazy. It be lit in the South, but this was like in the late 80s, very early 90s, like 91 or something like that. But I'm like, was it Capricorn season? Was it Aquarius season? I think it had to be Capricorn season because it snowed the next day. And it does not snow in Mississippi where I'm from. It just doesn't. It was snow everywhere on the ground. And the people had taken the porch furniture, like, right, that my grandmother had. And I guess they, like, fought the man with it. Because there was, like, blood on it and stuff. This story kind of sounds more, but it's really a true, like, testament to, like, how, like, God works and, like, how you're protected and, like, how, like, your ancestors and people and, like, the energies just, like, really have your back. We were not going to be infiltrated that night. And it's just one of my vivid memories from being a child, right? My first house planets, honey. So yeah, we saw that, the lawn furniture broken on the ground, snow covered everywhere, but we could see the blood on the furniture. It's a white, red, like, it's just crazy. And I guess that's the end of that story. They caught those people. Oh, and I think that same night they went somewhere else and did something else because we heard about it on the news that day. Isn't that crazy? So wild. But my grandmother is a Cancer, and I think her son is like at a very powerful degree of Cancer. But she kept us all safe. Y'all better be good to those Cancers in your life, honey, because they will protect you. And Scorpios too, right? Yeah. That was crazy. I have other stories like that, but that one was one where I was like, wow, like, how on earth were we able to, like, not have anything happen to us? The door wasn't unhinged. It was unlatched, like broken. Bitch. They tried it. They actually tried it. But they didn't get past my grandmother, the Cancer, honey. Work. Whew, child. Do you guys have any stories from your past or from the recent that, really reaffirmed for you that you were protected, ultimately? That's one of mine.